Well, first of all, good evening, Andrea, and thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Pam Fort of Speak Up and Vote, and this is
Sherry Williams of Speak Up and Vote.
And just to give you some background, we actually started a nonpartisan voter registration campaign, and it's been close to 3 months because we started the preparations in like July, and so our goal was to get as many people, particularly those disenfranchised people, registered and to get them to vote, because that's the most important thing. That was our purpose, hands down. That was our purpose. And we actually did 23 voter registration events.
Wow.
And we've been doing these Meet the Candidates forums, because one of the things that happened while we were out, we call it the campaign trail, because while we were out registering people to vote, a lot of them had a lot of questions. And one of the biggest questions that they had was they see the names, but they can't put a face to the names, and they don't know really what it is that you all do. So we thought it would be appropriate and advantage for you all, for them to meet you, so you can share with them exactly who you are and what the role of your office is and how it relates to the actual constituent. Okay?
Okay.
Right. So if you can go ahead and introduce yourself, give you about a minute to do that, and then we could go ahead and get started with the other questions, okay?
Sounds good. Well, Sherry and Pam, thanks so much for having me on tonight. I really am very excited to be part of your platform. You guys have done a great job on trying to get people registered. I can't even believe the amount of events that you've actually been able to hold, especially during a pandemic.
Yes.
So that's really impressive, you guys. And I really want to say that congratulations. I mean, this is a lot of extra work, and yes, you guys should be really proud of what you've been doing. So thank you so much.
It wasn't just us. I'm sorry. We have a team that we've been working with. It's a team of people. But I mean, we're grateful, because had it not been for our group, we couldn't have gotten this done. So I just make sure that I definitely say that. But go ahead, Andrea.
Good. Well, I understand that about team members, So my name is Andrea Lynn Chastain, and I am your circuit clerk for Will County. So what basically we do, the office that I hold, and all of my staff members pretty much are in control of keeping track of all of the court records. So we are the keeper of the court records. And we have an amazing responsibility of a huge task that we have done really, really well, with making sure that we capture the correct and accurate record of the courts. We're always present in court proceedings to make sure that we have, court dates continued, or we're setting court dates, filing paperwork with, customers. People make payments with us. So we're really doing an awesome job of handling the court records accurately, making sure that they're secure. We have a lot of great platforms that we've been able to roll out for the court users, and trying to make sure that people should, even though they're coming to the court, usually for, sometimes hard cases, we want to make that experience as pleasant and positive as we can.
Okay, wonderful. And just for the record, just want to let the constituents know that we did send an invite out to your opponent, Anthony Granata, but we never heard from him. So just want to put that on the record. Okay? All right.
Sure.
Yeah, Andrea, and I'm sure this happens to you, but for us, people get the office of the circuit clerk and the county clerk mixed up all the time. So you just gave us a little bit of why they shouldn't do that, but could you go into a little bit more detail so people can really understand it is totally different offices?
Yes. So Lauren Staley Ferry is the county clerk, and she and her office basically are in control of voting records, and so they're very busy this time because they have a big election coming up in November. And they also do birth certificates, death certificates, wedding certificates, and pretty much any other thing that, you know, you could think of with trying to make sure that the county clerk's records are accurate. And she plays a very big role with the county board as well. The circuit clerk, the circuit clerk, so my platform and my process is just basically making sure that we capture the court records accurately, and basically everybody in the courthouse uses our office, including our judges and the bailiffs, security, attorneys, public defenders, state's attorney's office, the municipalities for the officers. We have a very big footprint, and obviously you guys know that it's going to get even bigger as soon as we get to move into the new building.
And I'm sure you're excited about that as well.
Yes, we are.
So what is the biggest challenge of your office?
I would say probably the biggest challenge for a new employee is, you know, to make sure that there's so much to learn. There's a lot to learn. We do have a 6-month probationary period for employees to be successful candidates. So we support them through their training cycle, making sure that they understand exactly what they're handling, exactly knowing what task that they're going to, you know, have to perform on a daily basis, and just to understand, you know, the layout of what, you know, how court is, but not just a presence in the courtrooms, but we also, you know, have an engaging staff, full staff that basically handle all customer related operations. So we want to make sure that I give kudos out to my staff members like you guys did. You know, you're only as good as you are because of the team members that you have. And we have a great management staff and really great employees. Our office, obviously we have our main office at the Will County Courthouse, but we do have other offices in the county as well. So we have an office right across the street from the courthouse, which is at the Will County Court Annex building. And then we have an office over at River Valley Justice Center off of McDonough Street. And we have a Nicholson facility, which is basically our archiving facility. We keep a lot of our older records there. So we do have multiple offices. We also send individuals out to the 4 traffic branch courts that we service in the communities as well. So we do have things going on in the county, and because of the pandemic, we did launch our big volume courtroom for traffic at the Rialto.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so your opponent, as I previously stated, was invited to attend this candidates forum, but chose not to. However, his campaign has accused your office of being inefficient, underperforming, and lacking integrity. What's your response to that?
Well, you know, it's kind of unfortunate that he doesn't know enough about the office and about the staff members that work within the office. We have great individuals with great skill set. I think that they're very good at their job. I think that we do have integrity there. There's a lot of capabilities to grow in my office and to have a very long career. We always promote from within. So all of our management staff members that we currently have usually started as a bargaining unit employee and worked their way up. The lack of communication, accusations, you know, it's been kind of tough, especially during a pandemic when, you know, you have some staff members out. We can't hold large gatherings for team meetings, but we still try to make sure that all of the information is shared with our staff members. So we do a very good job of making sure that our management team members have a monthly meeting. And because of the pandemic, we actually haven't been able to do in-person meetings, but we do still prepare a meeting agenda and keep them updated as much as we can. Obviously, there's been a lot of changes that the courts have had to deal with because of the pandemic. So, you know, making sure that everybody is on the right page and is understanding on what's actually happening. It's sometimes hard because, you know, we had to launch remote court as well with the judges. A lot of stuff that we had to do with documents, have been coming into us electronically, but we also started having the judges review court orders electronically as well. So we really had to kind of launch in this time frame a whole different platform to be able to teach our court users how to really do things differently. And I think that even after this pandemic, that a lot of things are going to stay and stick around with us, which is really, really good. I think it's given the courts an opportunity to kind of be pushed into the future. And, where we have, been very successful on a lot of the projects that we've been able to complete. But sometimes, some people don't always like change and have a little bit pushback. But everybody's been really supportive and on the same page with wanting to learn something different and just to grow.
So have there been any problems with inefficiencies in the office? I mean, he's making this accusation, so what kind of inefficiencies?
We do have some inefficiencies still because of the current courthouse condition that we're in. Sometimes it doesn't always give us the best capabilities to do some of the things that we wanted to do, but we'll have opportunities to do a lot of that with the new building. So there's definitely been limitations because of the building itself, but not really inefficiencies with how the office runs that I'm aware of. I think that all of our staff members are doing a really good job.
So just with yourself, and we ask people this, what grade would you give yourself, and what areas of opportunity do you feel that you need to actually improve in?
I have a hard time always talking positive about myself. And so in some platforms, I don't give myself credit to what we've actually done and accomplished. So I think that, my passion is definitely this office, and it always has been. I've had a very great career at the circuit clerk's office, and I love law. And I love the interaction with the customers, the judges, the people. I mean, I still come into the, to the building, and I see people that are looking around, and I still help them. Just this morning I was riding an elevator with a young couple, and they got off the elevator, kind of looked around, and I said, do you guys know where you're going? Can I help you? And then they're like, well, we are here for a court date. We don't know where to go. And I said, okay, well, let's go to the computers and we'll look it up. So I went over to the computer, showed them how to type in their name to be able to look at their case information. And it's so funny because sometimes after I walk away, and it's especially during this time frame because everybody's wearing masks, so they don't really know. But then they'll turn around and they'll see my picture on the wall, and they're like, oh my goodness, that lady was just helping us.
Yeah, cool. Okay, I've been coordinating an expungement program for about 24 years in Joliet here. And I know from coordinating expungement programs over the years, we've always sent clients to your office to retrieve their full criminal court records. And we often hear major complaints, regarding assistance with obtaining them. If the reading is limited, or if there's a language barrier, what provisions are in place to assist them with obtaining their full record? Sure.
Well, let's just start with the language barrier. Mm-hmm. So if there is a language barrier with our customers that do come in and they don't have somebody there that they brought in to assist them, we do have some staff members in our bargaining unit and management that are certified by the county as our interpreters for our office, but not to be used in the courtrooms. That's a different type of interpreter. But we've been very successful to have probably, I would say, the most individuals that are bilingual in our office speaking Spanish now. And I had to go to the county and ask them to help me certify one of my staff members who knows how to speak Polish. So we are the first office that has a Polish staff member that can help customers in that aid as well. I give you kudos for being part of expungement programs. Expungement programs are something near and dear to my heart. I did that for many, many years for Pam. We hooked up with the university park mayor at the time, and we did many expungement platforms and programs out in University Park over the years, and also with Herb Brooks in Joliet. So
yeah, that's the program. That's the program.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Expansions are definitely something that we have been able to really pride ourselves on, to have a fresh start, to clean up the records. And we were able to do our first Fresh Start expungement fair last year. With COVID, this year has kind of been a little different, but we still have a lot of applicants that we're still currently trying to assist in making that happen. But it's something that I want to make sure that the county has opportunity to keep going with that program and platform. The chief judge was very kind to put together an actual expungement committee. And so with that opportunity, we were able to use a lot of the different offices for many different reasons to help people through the entire process. So the thing is that when an individual is trying to go through this process, the best way you can tell them to help get their accurate record is to go get fingerprinted. You can get fingerprinted at the state police department, or you can get fingerprinted or at the Will County Sheriff for a fee. Obviously, both of them do charge to do that. But then you'll get your actual complete criminal history, and you'll know what you're actually dealing with and what you have to actually try to figure out what could be expungible, and then you could start that process. The expungement itself, that case is filed within my office. The forms, I think that the state has done a very good job. Access for Justice has done a really good job on trying to make sure that if you apply for an expungement in Will County, or if you apply for an expungement in one of the other 101 counties, except for maybe Cook, but you're using the same forms. And they're very easy to fill out. They have a lot of good instructions. And then you would file those with our office and then start that process. Expungements do take a little bit of a time, and it does take a commitment for an individual that wants to clean up their record. But I am very much for a person to take the opportunity to do that.
Great. Just one more quick thing. One of the biggest problems I know with when they go to the state police, it's like when they go there, a lot of times they'll get the runaround. Okay. Yeah. And that's the problem. So that's something that you have to admit. So when people go there, it's like, so I try not to really refer people there, because then the state police will say you have to go to the sheriff's office, and the sheriff's office say you have to go to the police. Go back to the fingerprinting, place which is the state. So the thing is, it has to be some clear consistency with people where they have to go. So that's a big problem, with that. And then the other thing was, I know when we first started with the expungement, and you weren't at the time, the circuit clerk, but I went down there because we were getting so many complaints about, just the attitudes that the office had once, I would send people down there, because we ran our program out of St. John's Church with Pastor Brooks. Okay. That's what we actually had. So I met you there probably when you first got elected. But anyway, that was so there were issues. So I went down there myself, not saying who I was, but as if I was just trying to find my records. And there was some attitude adjustments that was needed. So hopefully, it's been some years since since I had to do that, but hopefully things have changed since it's under new administration. So I'm really hoping, but don't be surprised if I don't come down there, just to see how things are working out, because I will do that and call people out, because if I send people down there, they're already scared, and I don't want them to feel intimidated or feel inadequate because they're coming down there for their record. So, but anyway, I thank you for that, and don't be surprised if you don't see me down there. And then if I see where there's an attitude adjustment, I will call on you. Okay.
No problem. I completely understand that. And I think that our counter staff members are pretty good and pretty accommodating. Good. We get a lot of good compliments on the group that we have at the counter at this time frame.
Good. Sherry?
So what is your biggest accomplishment since you've been in office?
Oh, geez. We've had several different platforms and programs that we've been able to launch In the 4 years that I've been there, we've done a lot of technology upgrades to our own system. And we've moved over a lot of our digital images, or a lot of our images, paper documents into images, a lot of our old stuff that's obviously on microfilm that's just crumbling, to a digital image. I think that I would say probably one of the biggest things that I really wanted to do, and I was able to accomplish this year, not just myself, but with the assistance of many other areas and departments. I really wanted the county, our county is such a huge county in the state of Illinois, and for us not to have a platform for people that have to do a traffic online safety school program to do online. A lot of our surrounding sister counties around us had that, and we never were able to complete that. Even though we had a great partner at the time frame, which was JJC, that helped us. I think the contract was signed in like the early 90s. So there was nothing out there except for in school. You had to go and attend a 4-hour class. So with the launch of our iGuilty products, and also teaming up with the Bar Association and launching the Traffic Safety School program to be online, I think that that's probably been one of my biggest accomplishments so far, that I wanted to accomplish for the county. But we've had so many other good programs that we've been able to roll out, especially during this pandemic.
Okay. And so what are your plans for the future if you're reelected?
Yeah, I appreciate you asking me that, because I still have a very long to-do list. I want to make sure that we keep trying to make things a little bit easier for users. We had to change the platform on our website for online lookup. We still provide a free service to the individuals and citizens of Will County, where you can go on our website and you can search for a case. We had to make it a little bit more secure because we were under attacks from big companies for our data. So we were getting attacked by bots. So we did have to change that platform, but we still offer that as a free service. I think that's really great. iAttorney is out there for all the attorneys to be able to access court records, and they can make sure that they're tracking their own caseloads and keep track of their own schedules that way as well. And they also see the document and images as well. Some of the other things that we're really excited about doing and partnering up, we're going to continue to get integrated with the state e-filing system, which is eFile Illinois. And so we're going to try to make it easier for our employees to where it's not so much data entry, manual data entry. And I want to continue trying to onboard a lot of the municipalities to use e-citations. And then we'll integrate with those programs as well. And I think that one thing that I'd really like to do, and I think that I'll be able to do probably by maybe spring of next year, is launch possibly a notification system. So court users can keep track of court dates. They can sign up hopefully and be able to get reminders, whether it's an email or a text, to make sure that they all know court dates and they don't miss any. So there's some really positive things that we want to make sure that we're doing. And one of the other things is my goal is to make sure that we get paperless and fileless in all of our courtrooms. And we've been able to accomplish that mostly in all of our civil courtrooms and now our criminal misdemeanor courtrooms. So all I have left is the felony judges, and they're ready for it, juvenile, and our traffic, which will probably be the last.
Wonderful. Okay, so why should the constituents re-elect you, and how can they get in contact with you?
Oh, great. Thank you so much for asking how they get in touch with me. So the reasons why I would love to be able to gain their vote is just to make sure that I want to ensure their confidence in me, that I'm doing a really good job with the courts, keeping track of the accurate data, making sure that court users have a friendly experience when they come in. I don't want people to be intimidated as well. especially when we move into that 10-story building. It's going to be intimidating and going into these big, beautiful courtrooms. So we want to make sure that everybody knows that, one, where they're going, what to do, and what to expect, and just to be ready for everything. If there's anything that we can help them with to prepare, obviously we'll inform them, but we're not attorneys and we can't practice law. But we have a really good future in Will County with the courts, and I think it's going to be really great and bright, and I just hope to be reelected to be part of that for another 4 years. My name's Andrea Lynn Chastain, so please vote early or vote by mail right now, or vote on November 3rd for me. You can get a hold of me, obviously, at the office if it's anything work-related. My information is basically out there. You can go on my website. It's circuitclerkofwillcounty.com, and the office number is 815-727-8592. And if it's something not related to work, you can always reach me on my email. This is my personal email, and it's AndreaChastain3@gmail.com.
Sherry, anything else you'd like to add?
No, I appreciate you joining us and taking the time out of your busy schedule. I know you're busy, so we do appreciate it.
Well, thank you,
Absolutely.
Sherry, and thank you, Pamela, for having me on and the opportunity. Keep doing what you guys are doing, and please encourage people to get out there and vote.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful evening, and we will see you on the other side.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.